Right.
And this is exactly what spirituality does for us as human beings.
Right.
Spirituality provides, is rooted in providing meaning to our life, you know. What's meaning? When you give meaning to your life, you can be happy.
Greetings and welcome to another joyful and for today spiritual episode of Humans on Happiness. And recognizing our happy human of today, I'd like to wish all of you Salam. Today's episode is going to be special for me because we're going to bring about discussions and we're going to give you insight around spirituality, philosophy, meditation, mindfulness, and all these beautiful things that can really enable to get a hold and better control of yourselves as an identity, as a person. Before I take you to our guest, our wonderful guest for today, giving special credits to this amazing location that we're at today, the Curious Rabbit Cafe in Wagga Wagga, which is actually a gallery, a bookshop. It even serves to be an open space for budding artists, musicians to come and perform. So yeah, Curious Rabbits in Wagga Wagga. Right, now bringing you to our gorgeous and wonderful guest of today, Roya Pouya. So first of all, Roya, thank you for being part of Humans on Happiness. So who is Roya? From my perspective, before we hear it from hers, she is an accredited meditation and mindfulness teacher with a lot of experience and qualifications in that space and field. Not only that, she's known to share her beautiful thoughts and wisdom through poems. So she is a poet and has published books for her thoughts and wisdom. And she loves giving back to the people, society and community. She works along with people with special needs and has actually helped transform lives. Wow. If there is anyone better I could get to talk about the world of spirituality, mindfulness and meditation, couldn't be any better. Roya, once again, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Tejas. Hello everybody. I'm very happy to be here. I feel happy at the moment. Talking about my story needs a long time, maybe. But to summarize, I've been an explorer person in my whole life. When I was a child, I had lots of philosophical questions about life, the truth of life, who am I, why am I here on planet Earth. And so I started reading lots of books in various fields, such as philosophy, literature, even quantum physics when I was a teenager.
Wow.
To find the answers of my questions, but I couldn't find, unluckily. However, I could find my first refuge, which was writing poem. You know, for me, writing poem was like a shelter, was like a healing process that I could feel happy and free after finishing my writing. Then I grew up and studied accounting. My bachelor is accounting, and I have experience, 8 years experience in working as an accountant, auditor, financial manager. But it was not my place. I never forget the time that on one of the autumn days, I gave my resignation letter to my manager and I quit my job because I was not satisfied. You know, I was for another work, another job. I didn't love my job. And I went to library, started studying and reading books for 3 years to just find the major that I like to continue as my master degree. And I choose that major called Women's Studies.
Right.
Yeah, and I started studying in one of the most reputable universities in Iran.
Right.
I was top student.
Right.
But still I couldn't find the answer of those questions. And I was not satisfied, and I could not find the answer. I can say that in the most important turning point of my life, I could become familiar with meditation and mindfulness.
Right.
It happened around 5 years ago.
Right.
Exactly at that time, I could achieve the answers. I could know what is the truth of life. I could find out that the truth is me. The truth is inside me. I could understand who am I, because when I did meditation, I could achieve inner peace and realize and understand clearly who am I.
Do you consider yourself lucky?
I am the most luckiest person in the world.
Wow. If you were to rate yourself between 1 and 10 on
I rate myself 10 because I love myself. I've learned to love myself. I've practiced.
Right.
I've tried, and now I can say that yes, I credit myself 10. But I credit myself 10 to just be the best version of myself in the world that I'm living. And I've decided to talk about happiness from the spiritual point of view.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Because there is a close relationship between
Right.
a spirituality and happiness. This is exactly one of the best definitions that Tal Ben Shahar, one of the premier teachers of positive psychology and the good life,
Yes.
has defined. He defines happiness as the overall experience of pleasure and meaning.
Please
Happy
elaborate.
person, a happy person isn't so because they can feel positive emotions. Happy people generally feel pleasurable emotions because
Right.
they can identify their lives as meaningful.
Right.
And this is exactly what spirituality does for us as human beings.
Right.
Spirituality is rooted in providing meaning to our life. What's meaning? When you give meaning to your life, you can be happy. It's obvious that you feel and you see spiritual people who are more happier than other people. If you ask me, Tejas, where is the location of happiness? You know what I answer? The location of happiness is in the present moment. We are the creator of our happiness. And happiness is not something outside of us.
Right.
That is why I told being in present makes us happy,
Right.
makes us free,
Right.
satisfied. One of the things that really saved my life and made me happy is expressing gratitude to what you have. Because it's a shortcut to feel the present time. Why?
Yes.
When you are grateful for something you have, instead of reaching for something new, you are thinking of the present moment and of the abilities and the things that you own. For example, to be able to see, to be able to touch, to be able to smell. These are some abilities that we must be grateful every day.
Right, right. And in fact, on that point, I'd like to add to that because I've advocated this in the past, and that's something I personally believe in.
Yeah.
Is you talked about abundance. I call it karmatic energies.
Yeah.
It's basically you being open. It's like if you are grateful for what you have today or now, the universe and karma is going to give you back more of that.
Being in present and feeling the present time and live mindfully let us feel happiness. This is exactly what we can feel happiness. For example, when you want to drink or have this coffee, first look at its shape, its colors. Just be mindful of what you are doing at the present time, and then smell it, and then taste it without thinking about the past, neither the future. You can feel pleasure with drinking this coffee.
That's such a wonderful thing, because being a ex-hotelier or a hospitality person, and this is now adding a little light note. How many times, and talk about be it coffee or wines, do you sip something to try and feel the flavors that the bottle talks about? Like if you open a bottle of coffee, it'll talk about the notes, the tasting notes of the beans, that there's supposed to be a citrusy, there's supposed to be chocolatey, there's supposed to be caramel, there's supposed to be fruity notes, you know, and the same thing that's mentioned at the back of a bottle of wine, coffee, whatever. How many times do you actually feel those flavors that the bottle is talking about? You don't, right? Because you don't actually pay attention to the drink when drinking it, right? So this could actually help you, you know, bring yourself to the present.
Exactly.
To try and at least feel those flavors, and in that process you're actually practicing mindfulness, being there, present in the moment. Right, Roya, I think we've been doing wonderfully well, and at the start we did mention that you found your purpose of happiness in spirituality. So this is something that is close to my heart as well. However, I'd like to know what your definition of spirituality is, and how can someone practice spirituality, or how would spirituality help someone be happy?
When people, human beings, want to be connected to the higher source of energy, you can call it universe, God, divinity, anything else, they are called a spiritual person. They are thinking about how to connect not only to others, but also to a greater source of energy. And you can see that a spiritual person are more compassionate, and they have unconditional love. They are more forgiving, because they don't think about separation. They always think about oneness. They see the whole world as one. Their slogan is we all are one, and it is approved scientifically as well, that we are living in a holographic world. Mm-hmm. And we are the same in our divine body. You know, we are holistic beings, teachers. We are not just this physical body, you know.
Yes.
We have some other aspects like mental, spiritual, and emotional. So if we cleanse our body and we care for are these aspects of ourselves, our being, we can be a spiritual person. So we can feel pleasure, and finally we can be happy. We can be a happy person.
Would meditation be the only way to achieve spirituality, or are there other ways to achieve or to practice? I wouldn't say achieve, because spirituality is not something you can achieve.
Yeah.
Right? Like happiness, it's not an end goal, it's not a destination. More like a way of life, more like a way of being. Spirituality is a way of being. So how can someone get into that frame of mindset or frame of life?
First, as a beginner, if you like to feel that, all the things are about consciousness.
Right.
When you achieve consciousness, I mean higher consciousness, you will be beyond dualities, beyond good or bad.
Right.
You see every negative things as positive because you
Right.
have consciousness. And that is why you can feel inner peace. You are a peaceful person. You are a calm person. You don't need to be angry.
So
And-
that just tells you that spirituality can be attained as long as you find a way to discover the higher self and higher level of consciousness. It's not only God, it's not only religion, it's not only faith. Wherever you find a connection to your spirit and your higher, deeper self. So Roya, I think that has been a lot of some really deep, soulful, enriching conversations we've had. And because it's about humans and happiness, Roya's been very kind enough to bring about this little book called 100 Days Happier, which talks about daily inspiration for lifelong happiness by Dominique Bertolucci. Talk to us about this book. Is this something you brought about today, or have you always had it?
You can always have it, and in 100 days, it's a very short paragraph in each page that you can read and practice it during your day.
Oh wow, that's very wonderful.
It's a very good idea, yeah, that you have
But
this.
I'll just add, along with 100 days of this, 100 episodes of Humans on Happiness as well. But can we maybe have a look at what
Yes,
any
why
one
not?
of the practices are?
I'm gonna choose by chance one page that is one practice in a day. It's written, explore your options. Instead of making the obvious choice today, whether it's your coffee, your route to work, or your favorite lunch, think about the other options available to you and choose something else. Something stepping out of your day-to-day comfort zone is all it takes to open your mind to the different options available in life. There is no such thing as no choice. There are always other options. Explore yourself.
That is powerful and so easy to do. How many of us have a standard coffee order? One decaf with soy milk or ta-ta-ta. How many of us have the same route that we take to work? How many of us have the same morning routine, which some motivational people will say is good. However, what we just heard, it's good to explore and come out of that comfort zone, because like I mentioned in my last topic, success also lies outside the comfort zone, and you're making the brain, mind and body experience novelty, something different, and in that process experience a form of happiness.
Yes.
But Roya, once again, thank you for sharing such beautiful wisdom and soulful advice with our viewers. I wish you Godspeed in your journey in spreading enriching lives that you have. And as a parting thought, any one final piece of advice to the people out there on how to be positive and happy?
Nothing, just that you are the creator of happiness. You are the creator of your own life. You are the master. And nobody can help you, dear ones. Nobody but you. And I think that it's the best thing that I can say. Thank you.
Thank you, Roya.
Thank you so
And thank you. Continue watching, subscribing on Humans and Happiness for more such amazing videos, amazing conversations, and most importantly, on everyday hacks and habits to be happy. Signing out.